That's pretty good. That's down from last week. All right. So next, I try to get more of this over in the corner here. Not a fan of two screens. All right. So we'll go through this just for giggles to see what happens. So Gmail supports this J and K moving around, right? So I'm going to start pressing J and K. And you'll see this little indicator, right? It's just a very subtle line. It's not in your face. But I can tell that that's where the focus is, right? And so I can go in and I can press enter, and now it opens. And that's pretty cool. And now what I really want to do is I want to click on that link at the bottom. So what should I do? Just yell it out. Well, press tab. Yeah, I'm going to start pressing tab, and I'm going to look for it. Where is it? Yeah, it's up at the top. Well, that's, yeah, spatial navigation, damn straight to get to that link. That's the only way I can do it without tabbing all the way through. Right, so that's kind of annoying. Right, see where we ended up there. Yeah. So OK, that's spatial navigation to the rescue. That's OK. So I'll press U to go back to the list. And now I'm going to go, and I want to check this eBay one. So I pressed J, I moved down. I'm going to hit enter again. Whoa. What happened? Let me try that again. I must have done something wrong. I'm an amateur web user. This happens to me all the time. OK, so I want to see that, and I'll press enter. Crap. What? Wait, what happened? Yeah, the focus is set up there, even though visually the focus was drawn to here. And so even though I'm moving this around, that's not where the focus is. The focus is up at the top there. Right? Maybe enter is nothing, but it did the first time, didn't it? It did. So what they did, instead of, setting focus to the thing that shows focus, is they introduced a second way of opening email with the letter O. So instead of fixing the problem, they introduced a different way of doing it. Not optimal. So, are we done picking on Gmail yet? I don't think so, actually. So there's, what I really love about Gmail is I use labels all the time. Labels are really, really cool. But there's no keyboard shortcut for the labels that I made, right? I can do, I can go between what do we got? GT, and that's sent mail, and I can go GI, and that's inbox, and that's really cool. Except I have all these labels down here that I don't have keyboard shortcuts for. And so they have this really useful shortcut, which is GL, which puts label : in the search box, sets focus there. And now I can type the name of the label that I want. And that will bring me into my Bugzilla label. So that's a really cool feature. And it was a really creative way of getting around that, oh, I have all of these labels, and I still want to be able to get into them really quickly. And then I can just do GI and go back. So Gmail is actually pretty good, except for that weird focus issue where we're not really sure where the focus is. So now we're done picking on Gmail, I think. Who are we going to pick on next? We'll pick on Twitter. So Twitter actually is fantastic with keyboard navigation. So here I can also do J and K. And it's a little bit harder to see. I would really like the visual focus to be a little bit more obvious. But there's a very subtle gray. Can you guys see that at all? as I'm moving down. And another really awesome thing that they do is as I'm moving down, they scroll whatever item is in focus to the middle. So I can keep pressing J, and the tweet in the middle is always going to be the one that's highlighted, right? Which is really useful because that's where you're reading, right? You don't ever want to get to the bottom of the page. And basically, I can do like GC for connect, see if people are tweeting about me. Amanda is reading my email. Really? That's what you're tweeting? Well, OK, fine. So I'm going to press R back and say, you shouldn't be doing that right now. And press Tab and press Enter. And done. Now, I'm left with this little conversation view. And Victor retweeted that. Are you guys? What are you guys doing down there? There's like this whole other party in this section that I wasn't invited to. But you see, now what happens is you're in this conversation view. And that's OK when I want to read the conversation. When I don't, I can just press L, and it closes back up. So that's pretty cool. OK, somebody else just tweeted, probably something sarcastic. Victor, was that you? And now I'm like, OK, so I'm on here. I'm mouseless, so I can't click on that one new interaction. So I press the period button, and Bill Scott retweeted me bugging Amanda on Twitter. Excellent. And so now I'll just go back. GH is pretty easy. So I can go back and forth and actually use Twitter really easily just with the keyboard. Because again, pretty much everything that you want to do is a keyboard shortcut. And everything in this column is basically what you can do when that tweet is highlighted. Right? So I can reply, I can retweet, I can send a direct message, block user, which I think I have a couple of candidates for right here. Open tweet details, close all tweets. And you'll notice the slash also goes up to search. Right? So that's pretty cool. So I enjoy using Twitter a lot with the keyboard shortcuts. My only complaint is that focus issue where the focus, I mean, you can even see the focus behind there with the keyboard shortcuts dialog up there. It's like it's taunting me just for fun. All right, so we're done picking on Twitter for now. Who are we going to pick on now? We're going to pick on GitHub. And why? Because GitHub has 2 commands in their keyboard shortcuts by default. Now, there is that call, but I can't get to it because the tab is behind. But we'll just bring the mouse back to life here. OK, so there are actually a bunch that are in there that are pretty useful when you get into it. So if I were to go to, say, issues, and I have way more than 69 issues, I'll just warn you, you can actually use J and K to move through these as well. So once again, it's a very subtle highlight. It's like a yellowish kind of thing. Maybe you can see as you go down. And then you can press Enter to go in, and you can press U to go back. So that's really cool. They're following that paradigm on the issues specifically, and that's really helpful. And there's also, if I press slash, it puts me to search for the issues. Not the top search box, but search for issues. As if anybody needs more issues. However, let's go back. Oh, I didn't want to go all the way back to there. I wanted to go back to there. However, there is a bigger issue. And this one is kind of fun. I like to call it find the focus. So follow with me, if you will. OK, that one was obvious. You get that one for free. So let's see what happens. Where's the focus? Okay, there it came back. So where it actually was on that little gear there, right? No focus indicator, that's okay. Because a lot of times what I do when I first go is I just start pressing tab like crazy and see what happens. So we're going along pretty well there, pretty well. Oop. Okay, kind of got a little lost. And oh, okay, now we're back. Right? Oh, okay. So we yeah. Right? All right. We just decided to skip over that one for some reason. That one's not important. We're not going to do that. Then we're going to go to fork. Okay, cool. That's good. Now all right. Now I'm back over on the left. Okay, so we disappeared off the right side and we came back on the left. And now I'm going, and so where we actually are right now is on the issues. And I can only tell that, now we're on Wiki. I can only tell that by the link that's at the bottom. Right? So it's gone there, and then it reappears there. Right? It's like whack-a-mole. It's like you hit it down, and then it pops up somewhere else. And then you get to some stuff, and it kind of it went there, and then it went there, and then it went. So a little bit painful to tab through GitHub. Right? But let's just say, OK, I have to use GitHub with just a keyboard, but I know the name of the file that I want, and I don't want to go through all of this. Or there's this magical command called T, where you can just go in, and you can say, well, I think my file name is called css.lint.js. And yeah, so, whoops. Then I can go down, and it will bring that file up for me. So that's actually really handy. And so I don't actually have to go through and navigate all of the different folders. I can just press T and get that little search and be able to bring up pretty much whatever I want. And so kudos to them for that. That's my favorite part of GitHub at this point in my lifetime. And so I just wanted to give you a little peek into what my world is like when I'm using only a keyboard for navigating the web. And this is all about accessibility. Right? And I hope that what you've learned tonight is that accessibility means a lot of different things. Right? There are a lot of different types of people who are using computers. And they are using computers. It's not that they can't. And they want to be able to use your website and your web application. And so the way to start this conversation with your group is to stop talking about them. Right? We started at the beginning of this, talking about them. Right? Those people who need screen readers, those people who don't use mice. And then we got more specific, and we talked about me. And when you have somebody in front of you that is actually dealing with those issues, it's a lot easier for you to say, oh, so you're the person I'm building for. Right? But what we really have to get to is to move past them and even move past me and get to us. Right? The web is for all of us. There shouldn't be a them and a me. There should only be a we. And when you start to think about the web as we, something that belongs to all of us, then all of these small things that you do to improve accessibility means that we all benefit. And that's all I have to say.